Hi guys, welcome to Marnie's TV Zealots. Tonight we're here to talk about The Gifted, episode 8, Threats of Extinction. My name is Denise and my partner in crime is Mary. Mary, say hi.
Hi, so glad you guys are here with us. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel as, man, Gifted's getting even better. Like, I'm super excited about this episode. Why don't you start us off, Denise?
Okay, well, the episode starts off with a flashback to 1952. And we learn about this brother and sister mutant duo. And they are kind of bad people, which we later learn is a part of the Strucker history. So let's go ahead and get into that, Mary.
Man, that's what I love about like X-Men stuff. Like everything is connected to each other. Let's run through this episode because the most amazing part was the family tree. Okay, so Thunderbird. Oh my God, why can't I remember his name? And he's my favorite. It is Thunderbird. Okay.
Yeah, it is Thunderbird, and his other name is John.
Oh, that's right. So Thunderbird's going to pick up some mutant refugees. Apparently, they have stormed. They're just tearing up North Georgia. And so there's a guy at a church that's hiding some mutants. And so he goes in, he's getting the people, him and Eclipse. And one girl, Esme, she comes up, she says, I'm a telepath. I can read some thoughts. FYI, this chick over here, bonkers. So they go up to her and she, I guess in the synopsis, they called her a hound. Later, we figure out her name is Chloe. I'll just call her Chloe. But Chloe is like absolutely insane. Her power is like this super speed. She's like just a terrible version of the Flash. She can like rush over here and hit you, rush over there and like avoid your retaliation. So Thunderbird and Blink have to work together and a couple of portals, That was great.
Man, that was my favorite
part.
Right, that was my favorite scene from this episode. Blink and Thunderbird working together. Amen. This is what I need. I need more of it. He's like, open up a portal. She opened up the portal. He comes through and drops a sucker punch, sir. I'm like, yeah, that's praise. I'm like, and just he has to travel through her. I just want you to know that this is too much.
I don't think it was that deep, but yes, true.
You know what? Go ahead. Let's just move along.
No. I know, like, I think we should quickly run through Blink's arc in this episode. It was a little bit bittersweet, I think.
Yeah, well, it starts off with her and Dreamer's drama. Like, Dreamer is like, oh, great to have you back on the team. And she's like, excuse me, I am only here because I need to avenge my foster parents' death.
Yeah, she's like, you are the enemy of my enemy, the end.
Right? Amen.
That was good.
And so she decides to go on the run with, Blink. I mean, with Thunderbird and the team. I'm going to say she went with him.
Yes, it counts.
Okay. So, like we said, we get that wonderful fight scene. And then there's a little girl in the mix. And her skin is tinted blue.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, really like an introvert, I would say.
Shy.
And really, nervous about being there. And so Blink kind of takes her under her wing and tries to, console her or talk to her, get her to open up. And so the dog runs in when they're back at HQ, and he kind of has taken to what was her name, Nora.
Uh-huh.
And so she's like, oh, he doesn't like many people. And she starts out by saying that a lot of mutants can hide, but they can't. She says, I have my eyes, you have your skin, and the dog has his fur. And I was just like, ah!
It was so beautiful.
It was so beautiful. And she kind of opens up to her, and then she finds out that the little girl lived in the foster home that she was from, that Sentinel Services had hit, which,
Yeah.
is really upsetting for her. So,
Yeah.
man, Blink, she is really going through it. And I mean, of course, the little girl too.
Yeah. I really like the character development that they're giving her. Like, I feel like
And her skin was getting bluer. So is she kind of like Mystique?
oh my God, what if she has that strain? Because there's Nightcrawler and Mystique that are both blue. I bet she's got that blue strain. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it's when I saw, I was, oh my gosh, she's like Mystique.
Because we don't know what her powers are yet.
We don't know.
So I bet it could be shape-shifting.
We'll
Oh.
see.
Okay, oh sorry. That's another video. We could dig deeper another time.
Right.
Let's talk about a couple of things. Our prisoner, Chloe, that Thunderbird manages to catch, and also Polaris and Eclipse, the Aurora Borealis together. I did not enjoy their arc. It was so typical. Of course, he's, standing next to a woman against his will, and his overly emotional girlfriend is just going to snap at him every time he opens his mouth.
Okay, hold on.
So many times.
Hold on.
You don't
you are not going to attack her character like this.
I'm attacking the writers. She would not do that.
Well, okay. First of all,
you go kill the lady. Like,
I don't think it's about the fact that he was standing next to her. I think it's more so about the fact that he lied. Like, he stood in her face and he lied. So that's a problem. But the way she handled it was a bit childish. And I am inclined to blame her hormonal state.
It's the way that male sci-fi writers think women act.
That's true.
I'm not blaming Eclipse. I'm not blaming, well, no, I am blaming Eclipse. He lied. I'm not blaming Polaris for what she did, because a man is writing her lines.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's so typical. We've seen this arc so many times. She's like, you're sitting next to her and you enjoyed it. And I'm like, no, he didn't. He didn't enjoy it.
You know what? I didn't like that line either, because she was trying to use that line to manipulate him into doing what she wanted him to do. And I didn't like that aspect of it.
Right. And so that makes her the same as the other woman.
Exactly.
That had to deal with, saying women are the same. Anyway, drag me in the comments for that. I don't care. So anyway, every time they had to do something, they had to stop and bicker in front of everyone about it. And Mama Strucker was the only one that made sense. She's like, you know what, you guys? We're trying to save the world, so maybe you could, try to get along together later, while we try to save everyone. And I was like, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Mama Strucker right now. Like, I was sick to my stomach.
When Mama Strucker is the one that's making sense, then we need to reevaluate this situation.
I was uncomfortable. So they get their acts together for the moment, and it comes to the prisoner. Polaris is like, I say we just kill her. We're not going to get any information out of her. She's strung out of her mind. And Polaris is pretty hard about it, and she's angry when anyone wants to try to help the prisoner until she kind of sees, you know, she is going through withdrawal. She is chemically dependent on a substance. We learn about this later, that it turns out everybody who's brainwashed has that thing on their lower arm, upper wrist, is dependent on a substance, and that's how they're brainwashed, and that's how their powers are enhanced. So that substance is leaving her body. She's shaking. She has lost the ability to communicate. So they used a telepath to go into her mind. And it turns out, she was married. She had a child. Her child was sick. She wasn't able to get medicine. So she had to go steal it. And eventually she was snatched up and put into this terrible program in Trask. And that is what brings us to Lifetime Achievement Award for Trask Industries and Mutant Life Ruiner, Otto Strucker.
Oh my God, that intro was hilarious.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I mean, Otto. So Papa Strucker decides that he has to go see his dad because Trask was the company his father worked for so many years. And he told him that, it was over. And so Papa Strucker and Thunderbird head off to Chattanooga to see Otto Strucker. And when they get there, he's like, we can tell that their relationship is kind of strained. And he's like, yeah, Central Services came to see me. I told him, just like you already know, I haven't seen my grandkids ever. And like, obviously there's a lot of bad blood between them. And so he does end up telling him that, they have powers. And so he's like, oh my God. And then we get all of this wonderful, beautiful, delicious history.
Yes, I was so excited.
I was so excited. So he tells them, about in the opening scene, when we head back to 1952, the brother and sister team actually was his father and his father's sister. So his father and his aunts. Right. And they were, used their powers for evil. So, people got hurt and things, happened. And so he worked for Trask, and his duty, what he was trying to figure out was a way to eliminate or a cure for the X gene. And so he tried many times to come up with this cure all for all the mutants. And so he never was able to achieve that, but he was able to achieve it once. And that cure he gave to Papa Strucker. So we find out that he was a mutant. And even though he took the cure, he still carried the X gene and delivered it to his children. And so Otto Strucker tells him, he's like, look, I have powers, but I've hidden them. And so he's like, I hid them from even your mother, no one knew. And so Sentinel Services, or Dr. Rodriguez, something or other, the evil one, working for Trask.
I'm calling him Doctor.
Yeah, I think it's Dr. Rodriguez. I can't remember. But he shows up outside of Otto Strucker's house. And so now they have to, try to find an escape route, which he tells them, no, there's only one way out. And so he's like, just stay up here. I'll handle it. And he goes, he allows them to come in. But before they come in, we see Pulse outside, and he administers the drug to Pulse. And then his, of course, his eyes light up, and, that lets us know he's ready to party. And so meanwhile, his father comes out to talk to the doctor. And he's like, they're not here, blah, 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 the regular spiel. And he's like, we're going to check the house anyway. Ooh. And so when he gets ready to move, Otto just creates this big ball of energy that just looks like hot lava.
Right. He can make bombs, basically.
Right. Make bombs and blows them all to smithereens, but not before they shoot him in the chest twice. And I'm like, did they really have to shoot him twice? I'm like, I can't deal with this. But so they yes, they did. And he dies protecting his son, which lets us know that he really did love him, whatever their beef was. They didn't really go into what their beef was, did they? Because if so, I kind of missed it.
I think it was out of guilt. Like, he just couldn't see how sick he had made his son, he felt like it was his own fault that, all the mutant stuff, and he had to hurt his son in order to heal him. The most interesting thing to me was when they were talking and he was like, what are the children's powers? And he said, well, the, daughter makes shields, son tears things apart. And he's like, oh, dear God.
Right.
If they ever worked with their powers together, don't let them hold hands. And I was like, yes.
Oh, my God.
Twins activate. I knew there was a reason why I was calling them Wonder Twins. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So he's telling them, protect them. He's like, protect them. And also protect the world from them.
Yes, that was the best part. I got chills.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm super excited. I need to know now.
Yeah, I'm ready. Like, bring it next week. It's on. Anyway. Okay, I'm done.
Well, I mean, that's kind of where, they return back to headquarters. Yeah. They bury Paul, and I think they bury his dad too.
Yes.
I see. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't seeing things.
Yeah.
And so they they're back at HQ, and I mean, that's pretty much it. They the twins do hold hands though, and I'm like, they're activating their powers, and then we get a flat a preview for next week's episode, and it looks like they're learning to combine their powers. So I'm super excited. Yes, I'm ready. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for our recap. That was the episode. Until next week, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great night. Bye.